Scudder, my brother, what's happening?
Hey, fantasy, it's session. We talking touchdowns, receptions, interceptions. They got a band and kicker, we need that correction. Talk them out, we flexing. How many of y'all you collect? We tryna get that winning record. Fantasy, it's session. Fantasy, it's session. Fantasy, it's session. Fantasy, it's session. Fantasy, it's session.
Yeah.
What up, though?
And we back. What it is, hope it's what
Yes, sir.
To another episode of Fantasy in Session, powered by the Real Deal Fantasy HQ. Today is August the 6th, and everybody is here today. My boy got the shirt. Damn, he official.
Repping that brand. Let's go.
Let's get it.
Fire
Gotta show
content
support, man.
only. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Shout out
Today
to LQ, man.
Today, Fantasy is in session. We got a special episode for y'all today. We got the ADP battle. We brought a couple cool guys in today. Hopefully y'all enjoy the show. We're gonna go ahead and start the show with the 8-second moment of silence for all the black kings and queens out there. And we back. Speaking of all the black kings and queens out there, we want to give a special shout out to everybody that joined Session Takeover 2. The man was so crazy. We filled the first round. You know what I'm saying? We initially started off with 72 people. That is full. So we are now pushing it to 96. You know what I'm saying? The demand is high. So, special shout out to everybody out there. And if you haven't in your league already voted, go ahead and vote for which charity y'all want to donate to, because that's what it's for at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But shit, I forgot to ask y'all how y'all was doing, man. Los, it's been a minute. How you feeling, brother? Where you been at?
Feeling great, man. Feeling great, bro. Just working and little side work, little side hustle too, man. But I'm here, ready to pie, bro. Let's get it.
We thought you left us for a minute, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was just
No, sir. Come on.
That was gonna be a crazy podcast. I'm not gonna lie. Javar, what's going on with you, good brother? Hey, Javar just had surgery on his torn Achilles. If y'all didn't know, he's a little.
Got crossed up and shit.
Hey,
that boy said, nah, he see what had happened was he dribbled it from the left to the right. And then it happened. I'm like, and we like, bro, wait.
Just go nowhere. All right there.
She got crossed.
All right there, bro. I'm a glove. All right there.
You feel it don't matter if you was right
stayed there,
because,
but your Achilles went elsewhere.
Exactly. And his whole
I'm out here.
Hey, where do you think he dropped his Achilles at?
Bro,
you know, it just roll. It's attached. It just roll up.
I got crossed the Achilles up out of him, bro.
Hey, Javar said, "Hey, bro, why you kick me?"
That's how I feel. That's how I was, bro. So, bro, dribbling, and then I was right there in front of him, and then I heard a pow, and I was like, "Pow." And I turned around because I thought somebody hit me in the back of my ankle. Nobody was close.
Hey, Javar said,
"Which one of y'all kicked me, bro?"
Hey, he hanging from the rim, homeboy hanging from the rim.
Oh, you stupid!
You know how Chris Tucker was in Rush Hour. Which one of y'all hit me, bro?
That's exactly how I felt. Hey! As soon as I turned around, when nobody close to me, bro, I just walked out the court, bro. They're like, "Hey, you're out." I'm out, boy. Something ain't right.
Bro, that is funny, but oh man. Whew. So we bring
and
a
on
special
top of that,
up.
bro, I just had my new KD, bro. I need to talk to KD, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. He did tear me.
All the other shit
that was your first mistake.
He said that's your first mistake.
For sure that.
KD don't even wear KDs no more, bro.
He don't?
I'm just
I'm about to say, damn, that would be crazy.
That's Kyrie who's not gonna wear a shoe. Remember, he said it's ugly.
But let's get to why we're here for, man. Training camp started this week. A lot of news came out since the last time we potted. Let's just go ahead and break it out right now. Sleeper stop sending alerts, man. I thought I said that on the last episode, but they didn't listen. So they keep sending me these alerts. My heart keep beating every time they send them. I've been dodging bullets so far, but this time I didn't dodge a bullet, man. I don't know if any of y'all brothers out there feel my pain. Justin Jefferson, literally minutes before we went on, you know what I'm saying? He went out with a hopefully be a AC shoulder sprain. That's what I'm hoping. That's what a lot of people on Twitter are saying. Anything worse than that, man, just stop playing people until the season starts, bro. That's crazy.
Gotta practice, man.
Now they said it's not serious. Adam Schefter came out and said it's not serious. So
it's not serious until it's serious.
Facts. So hopefully, I got a draft coming up in 2 hours, and I got 105, and I was gonna draft JJ. So
this is a dynasty league, though. So if I was gonna draft him at 105, bro, I probably would.
I'm trying to win it now. I don't need him missing no time. I'm trying to win it.
I mean, the way I look at it is, if my redraft league is starting today, then yeah, I probably would bump him down a little bit. Just I don't like drafting injured players, especially for a redraft, bro. But I think by the time redraft season actually comes along, bro, I think it'll be. I don't think anybody will be talking about it.
How you feel about?
Anyway.
Okay.
How you feel about Saquon Barkley? He said he won't be playing until week 3. That is so gross.
That's hard.
Probably one of the grossest things I ever heard too.
I definitely think that I wouldn't take him in the first round of redraft now. And we're actually going to talk about it a little later, so I don't want to say too much, but he could become a value though. I mean, if he's going to be ready week 3, he could definitely be a value because we know Saquon is Saquon. It's just the fact that he could possibly miss weeks, and when he comes back, he's not going to be that Saquon that we were used to. So you might have to wait a little bit for him to get that classic Saquon that we all, grew to love. But we want to win leagues. So, I mean, if you can withstand that, bro, and get a value on Saquon, like when it comes to like December, November, when it's playoff time and playoff race time, then you should be sitting pretty.
I'm still scared of him. I'm not gonna lie. He's on one of my teams, and I wish he wasn't. But so if y'all want to come get him,
trade to me, bro. What's up, man?
You got Burrow there too, don't you?
Yeah, it's looking real bad for me there, bro. And this is one of the leagues I thought I was gonna be good in. But without further ado,
be good in that league for the past 2 years too. That's what's crazy.
Look who's been hurt the past 2 years.
Don't
worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it, bro.
The TLC.
Don't worry about it, bro. Hey, let's get to
the league. You blessed your ass
in. You know who the king right now on TMC.
Hey, Jamar did make some pretty good trades in that league, though. I ain't even flex, bro. I gave him Diggs, so I can't.
I just about to say he gave me Diggs. I gave him Debo in a second, but I love that trade.
That's the shit I be thinking about at work, bro. That's what pops up to my head. Like, damn, I did give him Diggs. Then I fuck, bro.
2 years ago, they won a championship with that game,
bro.
Oh man, that really hurts my feelings. Y'all got any other hot topic news out there that we didn't cover on Wednesday?
No. How y'all feel about the Hall of Fame game though?
Oh yeah, football did happen yesterday. I almost forgot.
Yeah, man, it started.
It did.
Steelers actually played starters. Like,
yeah,
right.
I was like, why is Najee here?
Have y'all heard anything else about Chase Claypool?
I heard he just fell on the football.
Yeah, I think
he just got the wind knocked out of him, bro.
Right.
Hey, it looked pretty bad. It was a great catch, though. I don't know if y'all saw. I just so happened to be watching the game at that time. Najee Harris ran for his first.
So I see he had more targets than Deontay. Whatever, just like
matter.
It's gonna be something to lead.
Yeah, Roethlisberger wasn't even playing, bro. So I don't even take any of that serious. What else happened in that game?
Everybody loved Najee Harris when the few times
he ran a couple times. Who they should love is Kevin Bilal Pow.
All right, I was hoping
he ran a touchdown.
Antonio loves him.
Who went in second after Najee Harris? Was it the kid
was
from
Bilal,
Maryland?
Right? Kevin Bilal.
No, the kid from Maryland
Caleb
played
Bilal.
with dreads.
Yeah, but that wasn't him.
You talking about McFarland?
Right. Didn't he play for a while? He was the second after Najee Harris.
Oh, he was? Okay.
I don't remember
that's something to watch. That's something to watch.
Cool. Y'all got anything else? We got
Josh Allen got he got the Brinks truck backed up on him real quick. Right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if this big news. James Washington won a trade.
Don't care.
And
I don't know. He could go somewhere. Maybe to the Saints, the Detroit Lions,
Green Bay. Shit, anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, a couple good spots.
I mean, when he comes on the field, he does produce. He catches the ball, and wasn't he the first round draft pick? If I'm not mistaken, maybe it was early second.
No, he won the first round, but he was supposed to be Antonio Brown. That's what they hyped him up to be.
Mm-hmm. But today we're here to break down a couple ADP battles leading you into your draft season. We brought a couple cool gals and girls on here today. I think I already said that. All right, so let's just fast forward. We got our first guest on here today. We got my girl Ashley Main from the Undroppables. Did I say that right? Mm-hmm. No, Ashley Marie. I spelled it right. Ashley Marie from the Undroppables. Let's welcome her to the show.
Hi,
Welcome,
guys.
Hello.
welcome.
How
How
are
are
you?
you?
I'm
Have you been
good.
affected by Justin Jefferson? If you do, there's a
No.
hotline that you can call.
I haven't because he's been going so early in all of the drafts I'm in, so I haven't been able to get my hands on him. I hope he's okay. From what we're hearing, like the injury analyst at the Undroppables says on observation it looks like it might be the AC joint, which would be like best outcome. But if it's like clavicle issues, that would like end his season. So I'm just hoping for AC because I just want to watch him play football. Like even if I don't have him in fantasy, he's one of those guys that I love watching him play football.
Yeah, he's
I
a
love
monster,
watching him
man.
too.
Mm-hmm.
It would really hurt me. I don't know if you was listening earlier, but Saquon Barkley's been out on one of my dynasty teams for about 2 years now. So I'm just really going through a lot of
years now.
I'm really going through a lot of pain right now, and I just need a hug from like somebody over on the Vikings.
I'm a Giants fan, so I need a hug.
Oh, yeah.
How do you
She
feel
feels your
about
pain,
what's
bro.
going on? How do you feel about what's going
Galladay's out
on out
too.
there in training camp? I heard it's like a wild place out there right now. Like players are retiring.
Yeah, it is.
And
And there was
fighting.
the whole team brawl that Daniel Jones is at the bottom of the pile and Kenny's hurt again. And it's been a rough week for us Giants fans. I mean, probably not, arguably not as bad as for Colts fans, but it has been a bad week for us too.
Did you get fooled by the tweet just a little bit that said Andrew Luck was coming back?
No, I did. I would never expect that. I Drew Luck, I would never.
Man, I don't know where I saw that, but I think Javar something. So I didn't even respond to wherever I saw that. I went immediately to the app and I saw him trending on Sleeper. Oh man, I put all my fab in.
Check your sources,
and
bro.
I said, let me go check. I said, oh man, if I spend all my fab before,
I got fooled
check
once.
your sources, bro.
I got really fooled once. It was this picture that looked like an ESPN breaking. Like it had the same font, the same setup, the picture with the fade in the background. And it was like way early on in the Aaron Rodgers talk. And it was like Aaron Rodgers is retiring, like Adam Schefter reports. And, you know, when you see that, you're like, all right, it's got to be at least have some merit to it. And I was kind of I didn't like look into the profile. I saw the ESPN picture and then it said Adam Schefter. And I was like, holy shit. And then, it was fake.
It's so sick how they do that. But anyway, man, let's talk about why we are here. You are now in the courtroom. You are bringing two players up to the board, or to the stand, or whatever they say in the courtroom. Cooper Kupp versus ADP. Cooper Kupp coming in, getting drafted around the 507 mark, and DJ Moore getting drafted around the 608 mark. Let's go ahead and let's talk about your players. Who are you defending? Who do you want at this pick first?
I want Cooper Kupp. If I'm battling with these two ADPs, I would present Cooper Kupp as the better option.
And why so?
So I've been a long-time Cooper Kupp fan. So a lot of his benefits is that Cooper Kupp does play outside, but mainly he plays down center. And with Stafford coming in, it can really help to increase his efficiency. We know he can throw down center. The last time that Stafford had like a good slot receiver was when he had Golden Tate, and Tate saw over 120 targets and totaled over 1,000 receiving yards in 3 seasons with him when Golden Tate was down center in the slot role. So we know that he does mainly take a lot of his fantasy points from yards after catch. It actually came out that Cooper Kupp, well, hold on, let me go back. His yards after catch, I wanted to pull up the numbers that I had here. Kupp had a 1,000 yard plus season with over half, like around half of his yards coming from yards after catch. It was 577. So Kupp has kind of this way of, with his speed, he runs a 4.62, which isn't like crazy fast, but is still pretty fast. That with his speed, he really can just create distance between him and everyone else and make those yards after catch. And this year, there was actually analytics done evaluating receivers based on getting open and yards after catch. And it's basically like this article, this graph that goes, you know, the way a graph does, like this. And then Cooper Kupp is like, a lot of hand motions. But Cooper Kupp is like so far away from everyone else. So it says he has like the best chance of getting open and average yards after catch. So basically, Cup is open on more than 50% of the throws that have been thrown his way. So at minimum, he usually gets around 4 yards after catch. A little bit of Cooper Kupp's downside is that he has been dealing with kind of a little bit of an invisible knee injury. Last year, nothing came out that it was anything severe, but his knee was like a little bit tweaked here and there. So that definitely hurt him a little bit. But even to me, I don't think that that's too serious. He had been doing, an entire offseason of rehab on it. And so that doesn't scare me away too much. The only thing is Robert Woods there, but I still would argue Cooper Kupp is going to be a great outlet for Stafford, and has been showing that he can still prove himself in balls thrown deep down the field. So it's not like Cooper Kupp only catches throws in the slot. When he does get targets downfield, he still has an ability to catch them, albeit not always, but he has shown he can still catch deep balls. And while he plays slot, he plays outside, he basically can play anywhere. So all around for me, I think Cooper Kupp is kind of this guy that he's quick. He, can break a long run after a catch. He's really great in a PPR format. He's tall, so I do think that for me, Cooper Kupp is somebody I always want to have on my fantasy team. And I'm a big proponent of wanting to have guys that I love watching play football on my teams too. Because I'm going to play fantasy football and probably get my heart broken in fantasy football. I want to love watching the guys that I have on my team, because I'm more inclined to watch players that are on, my high stakes league, my family league. So I want to have these guys that I love watching play football. And Cooper Kupp is one of those guys that I will go out of my way and love watching him play football, which is just an added bonus.
So one thing that I think that I didn't hear you mention about Cooper Kupp was, not last year, because last year he only had like 3 or 4 touchdowns, but the year before that he had double-digit touchdowns. I want to say 2 years in a row, and he was a big red zone target. But with Robert Woods coming on so strong, I feel like and last year Robert Woods got a little bit of those touchdowns that were supposed to go Cooper Kupp away, but like you mentioned, he has been dealing with that knee problem. DJ Moore is a touchdown when I don't know how much you can judge the Panthers because of last year with the quarterback play, but when they was efficient quarterback play, he was getting a lot of the touchdown targets. Robbie Anderson getting a lot of the yards. So that is something that I would say about DJ Moore. How you feel about DJ Moore, Carlos? Over which one would you take, Carlos?
I'm on the other side as well. I would personally take DJ Moore because he's going almost a full round after Cooper Kupp. And they pretty much saw the same amount of targets last year. DJ Moore was at 7.5 a game, and Kupp was at 7.9. He averaged more yards than Kupp, and like you mentioned, the end zone targets heavily favored DJ Moore. He didn't score on any of his end zone targets, but he did see 10 end zone targets. And usually, when somebody's getting that amount of end zone targets, they're going to score at least one. Like, he didn't score any of them, so I think he's a big candidate for a positive touchdown regression. He's also, I feel like he has a higher ceiling than Kupp. Kupp is more, I feel like, safer than DJ Moore, but if you're looking to have like a higher ceiling, I think DJ Moore is also better in that regard, because I believe his ADOT was like 13 point something, and Cooper Kupp was at like 6 something. So, and that's of course that comes with him playing majority of the slot. So, I think I would go DJ Moore, man, just because I'm looking for that upside, man.
One more thing I wanted to say about Cooper Kupp that I would lean. I think I'm on the Cooper Kupp side. I was just playing devil's advocate, but let it be known that I'm Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp has a better quarterback, I feel personally, and I'm always going to tie myself to the better quarterback, and I think he has a better offense, which I think, we was talking about this on the last episode. It could be Sam Darnold comes out here and be Ryan Tannehill, after he leaves Adam Gase.
But you have to remember he's played with Robbie Anderson before. Right. So if he is that guy, that maybe he's going to turn to the guy he can trust. Even if he's going off, maybe it's turning to the guy he can trust, and that's DJ Moore's competition.
That's a big
And CMC is back. He's going to take some targets, whereas the Rams, they
That's a
have
good
lost
point.
their top guy, Akers, back there. So they may, depend on more playmakers to make plays, and that could lead to more opportunities for Cup and Robert Woods. I believe Cup is in line to get more touchdowns opportunities now. With with Stafford back there, he should get more touchdowns and go back to his old ways. And you said DJ Moore ceiling is high. I feel like, now that Cup is with a competent or a great quarterback that has proven itself, his ceiling is about as higher as DJ Moore. I'm really worried about DJ Moore. Not saying he's still gonna be a good receiver, but I'd rather just wait back for Robbie Anderson, who showed in his first season on the team. I don't know why he was getting a lot of targets, and I feel like he was more consistent per game. DJ Moore had the more breakout games. But yeah, I like Cup.
Yeah, and I think a huge thing with Cup and Stafford is like their style of play really meshes. So if you take it away from a fantasy perspective and look at it from football, is that Stafford's the way he throws, where he throws, and Cooper Kupp's route tree and the type of player he is, and being able to make those catches where he can break free is a huge benefit for Stafford, and something we know that Stafford likes. And we know that Cup just didn't mesh with Jared Goff, right? Like you could arguably see it on the field that they just especially last year, and again the knee played a little bit in there, but I just feel like their styles of play were not meshing the way that everyone had hoped they would. So I think with a better quarterback that meshes more with his style of play, that Cooper Kupp is going to exceed with Stafford there.
You can also see that just Jared Goff just might not be that good. That's something that we can also very much see also. And we can see, with Sean McVay getting a competent quarterback to run his offense, somebody that he doesn't have to tell in the headphone or in the helmet before the play starts, hey, throw the X like we playing Ask Madden on, Madden.
What did Madden say?
Yeah, what exactly? So I'm excited to see what Matt Stafford does in this offense. I'm trying to get him. Carlos is being selfish. That's neither here nor there. So Javar, did you say what side you on?
Yeah, I'm on Cup. I'm not totally off DJ. I still think he can do some. And if it just look a lot better and more consistent than last year, I'll be back on the DJ train. But as far as now, I feel more confident, and I just like Cup situation right now.
Yeah, and I think that's me too. Like I'm not out on DJ Moore, right? It's not someone that I won't draft. It's someone that I avoid. It's just that in this situation, if it came down to I had these two as my, I needed a wide receiver, and these are the top two guys that are there for wide receiver, I would choose Cup over DJ Moore.
Do we think these guys are in the same tier, that they're going to finish around the same by the end of the season? Or do you think Cooper Kupp is in a tier above? Because I was looking at it around the time where Cooper Kupp get drafted, I think he's the last wide receiver in that tier. And then when you get to DJ Moore, you got OBJ still there, Brandon Ayuk, Debo. It's a lot of wide receivers still going to be on the board around that time. So I also think if you do want a wide receiver of the stature of a, everyday locked in wide receiver too, Cooper Kupp is going to be, around the last point where you don't have a question mark. Even though there are question marks about Cooper Kupp, I guess I contradicted myself. But I don't think there's as many question marks, because I'm thinking about OBJ question mark. You know what I'm saying? Once you get there. And so, wide receiver that's not going to get a lot of volume.
Yeah, I don't feel like Kupp's question mark is the same as an OBJ question mark.
Exactly.
And like you said about the tiers, like I think Cooper Kupp is at the end of that tier, and DJ Moore is either the very last one in that tier or the first guy in the next tier, like right around there. So they're right around there. But I do think that Cooper Kupp is going to finish a decent amount higher than DJ Moore will.
I can see that. Los,
how do y'all feel about the defense playing a part too? Because I feel like Carolina is going to have a worse defense, so that could lead to more shootouts. Then the Rams, they have a great defense, so they might not need to air the ball out as much as we would like. So that could be another thing that plays into DJ Moore having a higher ceiling.
I feel you, but I don't feel like Vic takes his foot off the gas. It's always feel like he's still, no matter the score, he's still, I'm calling my plays in my offense. So, not so much for that team.
And the Rams have maintained a top 10 defense for like the past 3 years when they had going back to when they had Wade Phillips. So it's not like they've ever been. They just have a magnificent defense now. Like it's crazy. They have 299
Really
players
is.
on their team. Like what is
Mr.
that?
Talk himself, Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
They have literally. He's been voted the best player in football by the players for the last 3 years in a row. Aaron Darnold, and then the best cornerback voted by players. It's really crazy. But so are we all on agreements except Carlos? Carlos, you still going with DJ Moore?
Still riding with Moore. Still riding with Moore.
Oh man, sucks to be you, bro.
There was one more thing I had
It's
about
okay.
Oh, go ahead.
There was one more thing I had about Moore that's like he is still like he does have a quarterback, a new quarterback, but he's still playing in the same system, and I think that takes away a little bit for me. Like on DJ Moore is like the inconsistencies from last year and the target share and not being able to catch balls where he should and still playing in that same system, even though it's a quarterback. If it was a quarterback like Matt Stafford, I think I would be more inclined, even in that system that didn't benefit him last year, to go with DJ Moore. But I just think with Darnold going in there and playing in the same system, it's not like there was like an overhaul in the offseason of coaching staff and overturned the same way other organizations have been. It's still the same system that really did not work in his favor with a quarterback that we have a lot of questions about.
A lot of questions.
You see Ghost.
Can you imagine they had Fields literally right in their lap too, bro. Like, I can't believe they passed on him, man. For
I'm
Darnold.
so happy.
Come on.
We are Falcons fans. I'm so happy they passed.
Yeah, me too.
Fantasy over everything, bro.
Not until week 10
DJ Moore
where the
everywhere
Falcons are
too, bro.
mathematically not like acceptable. That's why Carlos is going DJ Moore. Okay, that makes sense. No. You just said it. It didn't make no
I say
sense.
objective.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
him.
the fact Fields, though. I'm just talking about Fields, bro.
No, you just have to stay on brand with DJ Moore.
Yeah, I think I think after the breakout year didn't happen that everybody was expecting, you know what I mean? Until he shows it.
It's the touchdowns, man.
It's the touchdowns. You got to get touchdowns.
Especially with that many.
But we also know they're fickle.
Yeah, touchdown, that touchdown deodorant.
But even without touchdowns, Ray, well, never mind. Yeah, I'm not convincing nobody.
No, you're not.
We're just gonna have to let them do the talking on the field, man.
I'm just worried.
Football starting.
CMC coming back. He gonna get a lot of touchdowns.
That's 100 targets right there.
He gonna demand, and so that's what I'm worried. He wasn't there last year, and DJ Moore ain't go off. Now CMC gonna be there, and so.
That's 100 targets. Robbie Anderson is going to be his primary wide receiver. I like what you said. They played together before, so he already have some kind of rapport with him. And so I just feel like,
and they got that man Terrence Marshall too. So I don't know what they got going on. They try to do 3 wide receivers.
Yeah, I've been hearing
a lot of things out of Terrence Marshall too. So, Mr. Ashley, got anything else you would like to present?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I'll send you guys the graph because it was actually really interesting. So I think you guys will appreciate it. I'll send that. I love
that type of shit, analytic type stuff. Love it.
It's crazy. Like the graph is like there's a lot. Let me zoom in so you can read the players that are in the middle. So like right around the middle of the pack is like Keenan Allen, Antonio Brown, Brandon Cook, Sterling Shepard, Fitzgerald, Corey Davis. And then on the good end of the slant, you have Cooper Kupp all like way ahead. He's even ahead of Tyreek Hill. In getting open and yards after carry. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have AJ Green on like the bad side of the spectrum. That's like low yards after carry and low percentage of getting open. So it's a really interesting graph to look at.
I'm team AJ Green.
Definitely want to check that out.
Like someone like Mike is on that lower side, and you wouldn't expect that from this, but this is simply looking at getting open and yards after carry. And Mike Evans like not do well there. So it's super interesting to look at.
Mike Evans just throw the ball up, I got it.
Yeah.
No matter
go to where you want me to go. Yeah.
Right.
I ain't getting none after the catch, but
I don't need to get open and I don't need to get the yards after catch. So
well, if you got anything else on the first day, you are very funny on TikTok. I do enjoy your TikToks. So if y'all haven't followed her, please go follow her on TikTok. But anything else you would like to plug right here, you can go ahead and put it on.
Sure. Yeah, you guys can follow me on my Twitter. That's at Ashley_Marie with 2 A's in Ashley. The TikTok, I do content for the Undroppables across all platforms, but the TikTok is my favorite. I keep
Hilarious.
saying it was my way of turning my TikTok addiction into content. So you could find that at the Undroppables. Make sure you're following the Undroppables on Twitter. I have some articles and some other fun stuff coming out before the season starts. So just working hard and so excited for the season to start because there's going to be so many good things happening for me, for the team, and for everyone in this community.
Shout out to the Undroppables. Shout out to you for coming on.
Appreciate
have you joined the tournament?
Which tournament? Yours?
Session Takeover. Mm-hmm. Are you on?
I think I have to still sign up. I don't think I signed up yet.
Okay, well we
had the link, but I don't think I signed up.
We just opened up 24 more spots because it filled up. Perfect. So if you're still trying to get in, there's still opportunity. Tell everybody no. Tell a friend,
perfect.
Tell a friend. And we appreciate you for coming on. Don't be a stranger.
Thanks for having me. It's just so fun.
We appreciate it.
Nice meeting you.
You too.
Cooper Cup for the win.
Good luck this year.
Of course. Thank you. You too. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right.
That was good to start off.
That was
nice.
Nice. I can't believe Carlos is now on Team Cooper Cup. It's really weird, but
I mean, I've always been.
I like the upside, man. I like the upside,
always
bro.
been Gabe guy, and
Carlos never really had the upside for me, bro.
Carlos
he had double-digit touchdowns. He was like wide receiver 10.
That was all he had. He never was.
You remember that? You remember when he started the season? He was like wide receiver 2 until you broke his Achilles.
Yeah, that's when he had a lot of touchdowns, bro. You see what happened when he didn't get them touchdowns last year? DJ Moore averaged more points than him, and he didn't have a lot of touchdowns either. Imagine when those touchdowns come, baby. Let's go.
But he got.
Best believe I'm keeping them receipts too, baby.
But he got Stafford now. So let's get on to our next guest, our next lawyer, or whatever we call him. We're gonna bring him to this stand, man. It's a friend of the pod, man. He's been
home league.
Man. He's been trying to get on the show forever, man. It's my boy.
This guy.
My boy. I don't know. He don't have a Twitter, so we're just gonna call him Brendan. Y'all can call him Brendan too, man. Welcome
Brendan,
to the show, Mr. Brendan.
Hey guys,
Brendan, no Twitter. That's your name, my man. What's going on?
What's good, bro?
How do you feel as a Colts fan right now? What kind of things are your heart going through as you don't know who your quarterback is going to be heading into week 1? How do you feel?
I think week 1 it's going to be Eason. I think it's looking that way. I think Quentin Nelson will be back quicker than what they're saying, so it makes me feel a little bit better. But facing the Rams defense, Aaron Donald against a 75% Quentin Nelson is going to be interesting. Our left tackle.
You didn't answer how you felt about having no quarterback.
That's no quarterback.
Get to it.
But that's what I care about. I want to know, how do you feel? Like, how hurt are you? Like, because we have a quarterback. His name is.
I got numb after Angela retired. I just became numb because I had to have Phillip Rivers, who I hated as a quarterback, become my quarterback. So I was like, this is now. And then Carson Wentz, which I'm not high on, but I have hopes that we finish about 9-8, 10-7, right around that range with him starting. So our defense is too
if y'all remember, he wasn't too excited about Carson Wentz going there in the first place. So
it wasn't.
He probably he said, like, okay, now we get to keep our first round pick. So I'm not too mad about that.
Yeah. So I mean, at the time, but it's looking like from the reports they're saying like as long as there's no setbacks to the foot, he's going to be back. They're saying realistically like week 3.
One thing we was talking about on the Wednesday show, with Quentin Nelson and the starting quarterback being out, do you think this hurts JT or do you think this helps JT? Because I was team draft JT. I'm fade JT now in the first round.
Carlos didn't fading him, and which is understandable because Quentin Nelson's huge in the run game. I mean, he moves people like no one's business. But with backup quarterbacks like Eason or maybe Ellinger starting, it's going to be a lot of dump offs. And Jonathan Taylor can catch the ball. So, however you want to look at that and bring that back into your play, it's kind of like a glass half empty, half full situation. So
Naheem
Hines. I'm not fading JT.
Naheem's so much fun, but I don't expect the same outcome from last year to this year. I don't expect the multiple touchdowns like you saw, but he's a team player, but not a fantasy football player, if that makes sense.
They just came out and said they want to give bro majority of the carries. He is the leading wolf of this pack, and they play well on defense. So they're going to play good defense and run the football, and it's going to be with Jonathan Taylor, and he going to score. So I sit back and take that value when he dropped to the 8th running back or 10th running back coming out the board. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Because
The
these
last thing
players are not going to be out all year. We just said they're going to be coming back. So you faded him for
12
2 weeks
weeks
when
is
he's
a
going to be
long
able to
time.
bring that production.
12 weeks is like the ultimate, like if there's setbacks, he's got issues getting through his rehab. And it's the same with Quentin Nelson. But as it sits right now, there's no setbacks. I mean, we won't know until about 2 weeks in. So like preseason week 2, we won't know that there's a setback. That's when we'll really know when they're starting to get on their feet, actually moving, actually getting their physical therapy in. 'Cause right now, they're just
I'd be
the
worried
last
if
thing
they're
I
going
wanna
to be playing
say-
from behind, but they got good defense, Gabe. That's why I still believe in JT.
Yeah.
That's dead. The last thing I'm gonna say about the Colts before we get off of them is if you have a non-starting quarterback or a non-experienced quarterback, let's go with 8 times out of 10. Of course, the defense knows you're gonna try to run the ball down their throat. So once they stop you from passing the ball and they start stacking the box, and Jacob Eason can't complete a pass, an NFL pass, they are gonna stuff the box, and JT will then be eliminated from the office. He'll be game scripted out. That is what I believe.
agree with that, but like when
I don't think he
watch
can be
them
game skipped
play
up if they
run-
use him in passing game.
Right.
If Naheem Harris is getting 100 targets, I think he can. I still believe in
Naheem
Naheem
who?
Harris.
That's been Derrick Henry
Naheem
whole
Hines.
life.
Oh, he doubled down on it. He doubled
Yeah, I
down. He
know.
doubled down on it.
I said Naheem Hines. Yeah.
That's
All right,
the
anyway, that's
Niners.
not why we're not even talking about here because that's what we're here for, man. Let's talk about Najee Harris going at 2-0-1 in the second round, and David Montgomery going at 3-2. Tell us which one are you defending and why?
I'm defending David Montgomery.
Oh man, I didn't expect that.
So for me, the reason why I'm defending him is because there's a couple things with this. Like, so David Montgomery's still undervalued, and I can see why everyone's kind of insecure with Andy Dalton being the running back. But with Tariq Cohen gone, and he's probably going to start in the pup. For me, it just seems like more of like an easy grab for me. Like there was only 4 guys who averaged 10 carries a game, and it was him, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, and Kenyon Drake, who averaged at least 10 carries.
Mhm.
So for me, and obviously we're going off, Matt Nagy's words, which, that could mean either a lot or a little, but he's trying to see 20 touches a game, which I don't even think that. I don't think any of you guys believe that. But even he averaged 16, and I think even with that, which was the fourth most in the NFL. So 20 per game would have him put out in the third among all running backs. And over the last 5 seasons, there have just been 9 instances where a player's averaged at least 20. So having been carried out with that, I think Nagy's setting him up to be a front for a running back level play 1, and you're getting him in the 3rd round. So for me, that's where I'm looking at it for that. And for pass catching, through 2 seasons, Montgomery, I think he has like 79 or 80 receptions on like 100 targets. So, and 48 of those 54 came with Cohen with loss from week 3. So you can't argue with that either. With him being gone, Dave Montgomery can catch the ball. So, you're curious which way you want to lean towards, but I think Dave Montgomery is more of an upside over someone who's a non-known commodity like Najee Harris. Najee Harris is entering the league. I think he's perfect for dynasty. I think we all can sit here and agree that Najee Harris is a phenomenal dynasty play. They're projecting the 3-down back. I think he's going to be a 3-down back, but I just don't think the risk reward of taking someone, a 1st-round pick, even a 2nd-round pick right now, he's leaning probably towards 2nd round, late 2nd round is where I seen him probably go after like the fall off of like, let's see, like, DeAndre Hopkins, those players right in that range is where like you see Najee Harris and then Clyde Edwards-Helaire and all those other guys.
So my thing about David Montgomery is, of course, we all saw him go on the last year's a little whatever how many ever weeks it was run against all the bad defenses, and of course, fantasy has short term memory, so all we see is the numbers, and a lot of people see that and they still want him. But I like the point that you made about Najee Harris being Najee Harris being an unknown commodity. And I think another thing that people are not talking about Najee Harris is the Steelers' offensive line is not going to be as good as people think it's going to be. So I think I'm leaning toward the David Montgomery, but let's see what happens. Jabbar,
for me, another thing too for the argument against him is that so the Steelers lost their offensive coordinator and they brought up Matt Canada. Matt Canada was the quarterback's coach, so I don't really see a quarterback's coach changing a philosophy just because of Najee Harris. So I don't think they're going to they're going to pivot to a heavily run first scheme. It doesn't really seem all that best. And like you just said, they were 31st best in run blocking unit as PFF, which everyone needs to love hate for PFF, but it's pretty solid. And so they finished 23rd in the red zone attempts per game. So I again, like you're banking on the fact that he's a first round pick. He's an exciting name. He's from Alabama, but again, Alabama's loaded with talent. Their offensive line is loaded with talent.
Exactly.
You saw 2 first wide receivers go off the board. Like, I mean, Mac Jones, again, like he's not even that good of a quarterback, and he went first round. Like, you're banking a lot on something to where I'd rather have, like I said, I'd rather, if I've seen it, I'd rather have Clyde Edwards-Helaire than I would Najee Harris this year. I think a lot of people would too as well, but I've seen Najee Harris go above like DeAndre Swift and guys like that. You know, it's just like I lean towards David Montgomery just because I think it's a better situation for him. He's going to take over. Tariq Cohen's probably going to be on the pup start of the year. So I think David Montgomery's going to get the workload right off the rip. And Andy Dalton, you know, however you want to view Andy Dalton, check down Charlie is what I see it as.
Najee Harris could get the touchdowns, though. The Javar, which side are you going on? Hold on, let Javar see what's
up. This is a hard one because at 201, you could get that first tier wide receiver right here with a pick at 201, rather as getting the what we should be getting like the 8th running back, 12th running back off the board, 8th to 10th running back off the board. Mm-hmm. So I can understand you going to get that top tier wide receiver, and then the next round you just wait back and get David Montgomery. But at these ADPs right here, I feel like you're paying for what you're going to get out the two. Najee Harris is that guy. I've seen him in college, and a lot of backs who are coming out of Alabama lately, when they get to the NFL, they do well. Besides Eddie Lacy, they do well lately.
Trent Richardson.
Oh yeah, and Trent Richardson.
Yeah, that's a fun name for you right there.
Najee is not that guy. He's going to be an efficient offense. He's going to be able to score a lot. Najee Harris is like 2 Connors. He's way better than Connor. We've seen Connor put up numbers.
I agree.
His O-line. It's hard to pass the new shiny toy right there, man. And then we all know David Montgomery at the end of the year, he went off. He got a lot of carries, and it was against some bad defenses. I feel like he should be in a similar situation because the defense should hold some games tight. He should run the ball. It's hard not to go against Najee here, though, man, because I might. I just don't like in the second round thing. Yeah, I'm going Najee. Fuck it.
So around, I'll put somebody out there for you. So Travis Kelce, Devontae Adams, or Najee, that's what's going on around that time.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going. Yeah, I'm not getting Najee. I'm definitely going Devontae.
Yeah, that's some of the things that's some of my red flags. Lowe's, what side are you on?
Man, I gotta go with Najee here, man. Like you said, like y'all mentioned, David Montgomery did have a great stretch down the year, but he went against soft defenses, and they had nobody else there with him. Like, I'm not taking nothing away from him because you still have to produce in that opportunity, and he did. But it is a little more question marks, I feel like, this year with him. Like Tariq Cohen is still going to play somewhat of a part, so that could eat into his receiving production. And they signed Damian Williams, which I didn't hear anybody else mention.
I was going to mention it, but I don't think it's like a big factor.
I don't think it's like a big factor for fantasy, but I think it could possibly be big enough to pull his ceiling down a little bit. I think it could just be like a headache for David Montgomery,
which I think
definitely. But we have seen Damian Williams like
poach,
arguably have a Super Bowl MVP run, like, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
he's not a scrub, and like I said, I don't think he's going to like take the job, or I don't think it's going to be no 50-50 split. But I do think it's a 0% chance that he could hinder David Montgomery's ceiling. So that's for those reasons I would go with Najee Harris, because he doesn't have those question marks. I know he has a bad offensive line. They didn't really improve it this offseason, but volume is king in fantasy football. I've been preaching that for as long as I can remember, and I think that could overcome a lack of an offensive line. And you add the fact that it's going to be nobody behind him to catch passes. Like, he's going to be the true workhorse. He's going to get all the touches between the tackles and out, when he goes out for routes and stuff. And then you also have the history of Tomlin using a workhorse back. So I just think it's a lot of signs pointing to Najee Harris having that breakout year. It's always one rookie back that has that top 15 year, and I think that Najee Harris is a lock for that this year.
One thing about Tariq Cohen, I have looked up a couple of things. They say he's not looking good. He's not on track of being healthy. So that is one thing about
no, there's
that
projecting for the
backfield.
pop. That's what everyone's projecting for.
But does that mean he's not going to play all year though?
No,
he got 6 weeks to play though.
I think if I'm not mistaken, it's like what you miss automatic, like
6 weeks.
Games? 6
Yeah,
weeks.
I think something like that.
But I mean, at this point, you're splitting hairs, so you got to bring that type of stuff up. I feel like when you're coming up with these decisions in your drafts and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I just think he has more positive signs with Najee Harris than David Montgomery.
Yeah, so I would want Najee, but like Gabe said, Najee, Devontae Adams, and Kelsey. I'm probably going Devontae Adams, and I just accept Montgomery as my running back too. So in a real draft, I would do that. But just, looking at who would have the better opportunity to finish higher, I feel more on Najee's side. But that's
that price tag, man. That price tag is so high for Najee. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's warranted, but I just think we're going to see some growing pains. A lot of rookies hit that rookie wall. And like I mentioned about that offensive line, is not as good as what people are. They just lost their starting center, just retired. I think somebody else, like a left guard or something, is going also. So it's a lot of new things going on out there, and Big Ben is old as shit. So there's that.
Yeah, that could play a huge factor, man. If they come out like they finished last year, man, then I know he's using the passing game, but it's going to hinder Najee if he's out here throwing picks all over the place like he did last year, like towards the end of the year. So that definitely could play a part in it.
Los dropped a new word. I don't know if y'all heard that shit. I never heard it before, but how
he said
quantum code or whatever it was. He was like, "Oh, I never heard of it." But he dropped. He said it's a less than zero. What did you say? What'd you call it? Less than 0%.
A greater than 0% chance.
Oh man, I never heard nobody put that together. That was hard. It's a good.
I did a couple pods ago.
That was hard. That was hard.
Do you have Najee Harris as top 12 back this year? Is that like what you guys all have him at? As definitely.
I think I have him at top 15.
Okay.
Top 15. I don't think he's made it to my top. Well, now with the injuries, he might have bumped Cam Akers down. I don't know. I'm gonna update him after preseason.
I got Harris right at 16, but Cam Akers is in front of him. So right now he'll be at 15.
Yeah, because if we're just going off like a stats line too, like there's been 10 running backs since like 2015 who've been drafted in the first round, and I think only Zeke and Saquon were actually finished as an impressive asset towards your team as a top 10. I mean, you had CMC, Leonard Fournette, who were serviceable in that first year, and the rest of the guys I think is like Josh Jacobs, Clyde, Melvin, who finished as like an RB2, and you had Todd Gurley and Sonny Michel, who were in that flex range, and then you have the Seattle Seahawks picking Rashad Penny, which is kind of just a joke in general, but
they say Rashad Penny looking good in camp.
Yeah,
that's a little lighter, a little faster, a little healthier. We gonna see.
I'll kick a tire on him because I think just because of Chris Carson, just how Chris Carson runs, and he's probably gonna miss a game or two.
I thought kick a tire was like throwing to the curb.
No, I think it's like what I'm saying. See what's going on out there.
Oh, okay.
You like kick something like what's going on over there? Okay. What y'all doing over there? But
I would say, hey, bro, you came with the heat today, bro. You came prepared
for sure.
Bro. Yep, you definitely presented a great argument for Montgomery, bro.
This is the type of thing that we have in our.
I'm all in on Najee, but for redraft and for redraft purposes, I'm all in on David Montgomery.
Definitely. That's a great point too, though, man, because you want to come out the gate running. Like I feel like it gives you a confidence boost when your team comes out on fire. Rather than waiting for that week 4 breakout, man, because you're going to start this is natural to have doubts about the player that you drafted. So,
and I think David Montgomery is a perfect example for that. I think David Montgomery is going to come out the gates and be hot and be perfect and be a perfect trade candidate because Tariq Cohen's going to come back and you want to get rid of him, then by all means. And I think Najee Harris is going to be. I think it's going to be a slow start, learning an offense, learning how the NFL works, and we can go from there. But I think. For a redraft purposes, and for that being, I think David Montgomery has a better finish, productive life for where he's being drafted. Because, like you said, I'd rather have Devontae Adams by a mile. I'd rather have Travis Kelce by even 10 miles there in that point before I have Najee Harris. And there's other guys after that. It's like Calvin Ridley. Would you have Calvin Ridley? Would you have Najee Harris?
As long as David Montgomery is your
Calvin
running back
Ridley.
two, I love it. But if you got David as your running back one, you might be in a little trouble.
Yeah, it depends
At
on
least
what your
in
draft
the
strategy is.
the first 2 rounds to have a running back one. Unless you're in a PPR league and you want to go like you're in the back end. Like I'm in one of my main leagues, I'm in 12, so there's done mocks where I've had Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, and I was like, all right, I have no problem with David Montgomery being my running back one, just because of those guys being my wide receiver 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it really just depends on what type of league you're playing in and how you want to come.
Yep.
But so I think I'm going Javar Demont.
Nah, I went
I think you
Harris.
said Najee.
You went Harris? Or you went Harris?
With the argument, but in a real draft, I will choose Devontae
That's not.
Adams.
We talking about what did?
Yeah, I said I'm going with Najee
Javar
Harris.
always want to make stipulations, bro.
I like Najee Harris.
He's on painkillers. Give him a break.
Right.
Yeah, shout out to Javar and his painkillers. Lowe's, which one are you going?
Harris, man, gotta go Harris.
Harris. So it's just me and so it's split 2 and 2. We want to thank you for coming on. This type of things that we got going on in our home league. So when LQ come out there and say that he's winning championships, this is why we don't count him, because he probably getting people that's drafting Patrick Mahomes in the first round or something crazy like that in the 1 quarterback league. But anyway, Brendan, you need a shout out? Probably not.
No, man. I just say go Colts. I hope it's a good year for everybody.
Go Taylor.
Hey, Los, if you want to remind everybody who beat who in the championship.
Man, come God, kick him out. Get out of here, man.
Brendan beat somebody in the championship.
Hey,
GG's, man, for the 10th time.
Brendan said, Brendan was like, I made 3 trades in 3 years. I do trade. It was like, bro, you gotta trade it, bro.
That is crazy.
No, that's literally equates to 1 trade a year, bro.
That's right.
Really,
not a trader. And then that trade,
we gotta have another episode about like people not trading. And Brendan is and if you do try to trade with him, it's gonna take like 3, 4, 5 weeks to like get it done. Like,
it's gonna take.
Season is almost over.
He gonna want to talk to you about the players that you trying to trade. He gonna talk about the players that he want to trade. Like he gonna have a whole conversation. Like, wait a second, bro, we trying to have a trade. Why are we talking about the Colts offensive line right now, bro?
The trade deadline is coming up.
I gotta get you sidetracked to where I can sweet talk my way into what I want.
I definitely peeped that, bro. I definitely peeped that.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on, bro. We'll see you on Warzone later.
See you on Warzone later, bro. Oh, Jinx.
Warzone later.
All right. Damn, that was Brendan. If everybody didn't know, he don't have no Twitter or nothing, so just shout out Brendan. Our next guest we got coming on. Y'all ready for the next guest?
Oh yeah, we're ready.
All right, so we got my man. I don't know what you want to call him, but I'm just gonna call him Vincent. I don't know if he want me to put out his whole Twitter name because I don't know. Anyway, my man Vincent. Man Vincent, what's going on? Say your Twitter so they know it, because I couldn't read it.
It's just VMILO at 762.
Yeah, something. VM. We'll put it on there.
Yeah, man. It's whatever. I'm not that worried about it.
Man, he's not that worried about it. But we worried about you being in the session today. We want to thank you for joining us. Shout out to you. How you doing, man? What's going on?
Yeah, good, man. Long week, just ready for it to be done. Have some little.
Hey, man, we finally made it to Friday. It feel like Friday just be taking so long to get here. It's really wild. What's your favorite team? Steelers. So how do you feel about Najee Harris? We just had a whole debate about him. How you feel about him?
I like him. I mean, I think he's going to be top 15. Maybe that early second round tag on him right now might be a bit much.
Right.
Offensive line, I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was last year. We got younger, maybe a little quicker. Might make a difference, but it's not going to be a huge improvement right now. Maybe a couple years down the line when these guys get settled in.
Yeah, I think before we get back to that, what people are used to seeing out of that Steelers running game, it's going to take some time, definitely for sure. Who are you presenting today to the courtroom?
All right, so I got Alvin Kamara and Saquon Barkley. I think I'm going to make my case for Barkley today.
Okay.
Oh, is this? I didn't expect that after the news.
It's been a lot of bro.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I was like, oh man, he probably picked him before the injury happened. He's not gonna want to talk about him no more. But hey, the court is pleased to hear you.
I'll take my chances with him, even with the possibility of him missing 2 games. You got too many question marks going on right now for the Saints. Michael Thomas going to be out. Who knows how long? They don't know who their quarterback is. They lost pieces. They got all these possible suspensions coming. You don't know what they're going to look like. And outside of Alvin Kamara, there's nobody on that offense that scares me right now.
That is true. Once they stack that box and stop the run, that what I mean, that's kind of what I was talking about with JT back there. I feel like Alvin Kamara is Alvin Kamara. I just seen that man score 60 points in a fantasy football game. So I don't know.
Christmas came early.
Everybody,
No, it didn't.
everybody's a little worried about Barkley. He's got the same kind of talent.
Yeah.
He can be that home run hitter on any given play. They're even players. I love them both. I got them both across many of my leagues. But right now, if you're looking to get out to that fast start and have yourself somewhat established mid-season in case something happens, Barkley might be the better play, even though he could miss 2 games, which still might not happen.
Do you think Barkley still deserves to be drafted at the 108?
I would still take my chances with him at the 1-8 because you might be able to pair him with an Aaron Jones or Austin Eckler on the turn, or maybe even a Devontae Adams or Stephon Diggs, and you're off to a great start right there.
So that are you willing to sacrifice that wide receiver at that point, going back to back? Back to back running backs.
I mean, you guys know as well as I do. Every draft flows a little different. It depends on what falls to you at that spot.
Sorry, I just got a trade alert. I got to make sure it wasn't one of my players.
It was.
I did. I just got Kadarius Toney. Shout out to me. How do you feel about, since we all talk about the Giants? How you feel about Kadarius Toney?
So gross.
You don't like Kadarius Toney?
Not really. Who does?
Not yet.
He's a first round draft pick.
He is.
Yeah, I know.
Have you not seen the tape on? Have you not seen the tape?
He was also considered a massive reach for going.
No. Have you not seen the tape?
Yeah.
It's no way y'all watch Kadarius Toney and talking that crazy. Kadarius Toney was compared to Elijah Moore. They the same player. The only reason that people haven't been talking about him is because he had COVID. He's just not coming back from the COVID.
Okay.
That's the only reason people.
We're gonna see.
After this podcast.
I just feel like, bro, to give, you only had to give up a 2023 second, bro. That lets you know what your op felt about Kadarius Toney. You're like, yeah, you can just have him, bro. Just give me something. 2 years away.
But he also has like 10 roster spots he need to free up.
You're right, man. But let's get
that's not why we're here. But back to Saquon Barkley and Alvin Kamara. So, like I mentioned, Alvin Kamara is, I think, dynamic enough to basically withstand not having Michael Thomas there. We've seen him without Michael Thomas last year. That's one of the things I wanted to mention. We've seen him with a lesser quarterback at times with Taysom Hill, and he still was a quality running back. He was still top 5 during those weeks with Taysom Hill. We had an episode about that. So with Jameis Winston, who I believe is a better quarterback than Taysom Hill, well, one, he is a quarterback, and with not as many options. With not as many options on the Saints, as you mentioned, I feel like giving the ball to Alvin Kamara might be the only thing that they can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. But like I said, who else do they have to stop? All you got to do is stop Alvin Kamara. He's not going to be able to do it all.
That's a bad man. It sounds good to stop him, but I've seen a lot of people miss a lot of tackles on Alvin Kamara.
We've seen a lot of Falcons miss a lot of tackles on Alvin Kamara.
I've seen it a lot of times, bro.
2 times a year.
Very for sure. It's like and it usually comes on like Thanksgiving or Christmas too. So like that's usually how that goes.
Right.
It's really gross.
Yeah,
but Merry Christmas. Score 60 points. Lose in the fantasy football championship. Who cares?
Oh
anyway, no. I'm team Alvin Kamara. Los. I'm
gonna go with Kamara too, man. Like if both of these guys were completely healthy right now, man, I think I would argue Barkley, man, but that's just not the case right now. So we know it's a possibility of him not being back to week 3. And then when he does come back, like we don't know if he's going to, like we talked about this earlier in the show, like we don't know if he's going to be that same Barkley when he first gets back. We know he's going to work his way up to that. But I mean, you might be looking at week 6, 7 to where you finally are comfortable starting him. With Kamara, man, like Gabe mentioned, we've seen him without Michael Thomas last year and he got better. Like he was more involved in the offense. He finished as the RB1 last year, so I just think that he's going to be like more of the same type of role that he was in last year. I know Taysom Hill, like he didn't target him too much into that last game, but I think they have more time to to game plan for that. If they do decide to go with Taysom Hill, I don't think you're just gonna like not let your best playmaker get targeted like that. So I just think that Kamara is going to give you that ceiling and that floor, and he's healthy right now, man. Really, it just comes down to health is the kicker for me with Kamara, man. Because they're, like you said, they're both super duper talented, man. They're both like cheat codes pretty much at the position. So if you could tell me I'm getting one that's healthier, then I'm going to go with that guy.
Yeah, before the injury, man, I was all team Barkley because he was going later, and I believe he was going to finish top 5. So I was all Barkley, but now I know he's going to miss a couple weeks. And it'd be crazy if he missed a couple of weeks and came back to be top 5. But it's just where it is, they want to ease him back into games, like 10 to 15 touches for his first couple games before he even get used all up. And man, and when you go on redraft, you don't want to start off, you know what I'm saying, with even if he fall to the 3rd round, he still will be your second running back, and you don't want that on your IR. You don't want your top 5 picks on IR. So with him not going to be starting 2 games, and I'm worried about Kamara, even though he's going to be the only guy to get everything. Like we said, he didn't look the greatest with Taysom Hill, but it should be Jameis starting. So I just got to, with health and knowing Kamara is going to get a lot of volume, I just got to go Kamara right now. And we don't know if Barkley's going to come back and be Barkley too. I'm kind of worried now since he's not ready. So
I don't think it's nothing worse than like coming in like after a Tuesday. Let's go with Tuesday morning, like checking your phone and like seeing you have Saquon Barkley on your bench because you drafted him and you lost by like 15 points or something like that you know Saquon would have got if he was playing. So,
and one thing I want to add, whoever do get Saquon, he might be a league winner for them too. Whoever get him when he comes back.
I don't think he's gonna slip that low. How low you think he's gonna slip? What's the lowest you would let Saquon if you are picking in the draft?
I'm probably taking the top 10 before him, the Ecklers or whatever. I might even take Joe Mixon. I might even take Joe Mixon and Swift and Dobbins and Gibson. So yeah.
What for Los? Where would it stop before you pick up Saquon Barkley? Like,
It'd be
who
3rd round.
Still be on the board.
Yeah, it will probably be like he said around that Gibson, Swift, Dobbins mark for me. But I don't think I would let him fall past the 3rd round if I'm drafting. If I'm drafting, I got 2 studs already in the first 2 picks, man, and Barkley's sitting there staring at me. Even if I have 2 running backs already, I don't think I could pass up Barkley that low.
So say if you're sitting at 303 and you got Antonio Gibson, Joe Mixon, Saquon Barkley. At
303, you should have a higher running back than Gibson with your first one, but that should be like Aaron Jones or
just answer the question. Yeah, you always want to go crazy with the question. Just answer the question.
All right, so
technically,
I mean, I how that's set up, I would like Barkley as my 3rd running back now. So yeah, I wouldn't mind because I could sit him out for 2 weeks and know he coming back as my 3rd running back. Now if his ADP dropped to that, I'm buying that. You know what I'm saying? But at 108, I just can't buy it right now.
I don't want it boils down to me, no red flags on my 1st round running back.
Especially after drafting Sutton and Barkley last year.
No red flags. No more locked doors. You got any final words on Barkley?
Yeah, I mean, right now that could all just be the coach speak. We know how that goes by the beginning of the season because we still got a whole another month to go. That could change. I mean, so we never know what's going to happen. I figured Kamara would be predictable. Let's have a little fun with it.
Yeah.
But, if you get a chance to grab Barkley as your 2nd or 3rd back, you can't pass that up.
Yeah, there's no way.
Like I was saying, he could be an absolute league winner down the stretch.
If too many bad stories come out about him, that ADP will fall. Remember Zeke last year? We could talk about Zeke last year. Zeke, people would get. I mean, it didn't turn out how we wanted to. But I mean, he didn't do bad. But if he falls like a Zeke fall and then has like a Saquon Barkley year, like if you got Saquon Barkley on your team, at that point it's over. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got anything else you want to say about either of the 2?
Nah, like Los was saying earlier, if they're both healthy, there's no way you can go wrong. So it's just the possibility to have a guy like Barkley in the back pocket.
Facts.
In the redraft, what's your strategy? Running back in the first 3 rounds. What are you aiming after? If you had your perfect world.
Probably running back, wide receiver. Because wide receiver is probably a little deeper than running back.
Yeah, for sure.
And finding those workhorse running backs is getting harder and harder anymore.
All right, man. We appreciate you for coming on. Did you get in the tournament?
Nah, I haven't gotten in the tournament, but I did see that you guys opened up some more spots, so I'm going to try and get on in.
Yeah, man. Go ahead and get in. Just go ahead and shoot us an email, and we'll make sure we got you on the list. If you got anything else, man, anytime you want to come back, just let us know. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, thanks, man. Thanks for having me on. It was a blast, guys.
Have a good Friday.
Appreciate you, good brother. All right. This brings us to the last lawyer. He's the best barber in Atlanta. If you ever want your hair cut and you come to Atlanta after you get the lemon pepper wings, and hit Magic City, go head on the lemon pepper wings wet with the sprinkles, extra crispy with the lemonade motherfucking drink. After you get that, make sure you head over there to Douglasville. Go get your hair cut by my man Champagne Files, aka Jet Life, aka Jet Setter, my boy Levon. Welcome to the show. He doing a little. He being Levon right now. Let's see what's going on. He walking. What's up, brother?
What up, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Well, walk around his house like Royce.
Yeah, you got the Rottweilers at the backyard. What's going on?
Yeah, you going crazy.
How you feeling, good brother?
Let me get.
Hey, I need that intro. When you do an intro, you give me that intro. All right, gang.
Yeah, right. Goddamn.
And she just like, and my co-host, I'm like, damn, that's it.
My bad, y'all. I had to drop my son off. But what up, though, everybody?
Oh man, what's going on,
man? The West Georgia crew is back together again, niggas, man. Let's go.
We made it. Yes, I was laughing at that Jordan. I was laughing at that Jay in the back of Gabe's background the whole time. We got like one Jordan like that.
Just one.
You see what I tried to do?
You did that shit on purpose, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Why do you have one Jay behind you, bro? Get the fuck
because
out of here.
On my wall.
Couple episodes.
That's okay. Shit, boy. I swear, bro.
What? Hey, he probably like, that's my favorite shoe, man. My favorite shoe. I keep it clean.
Hey, if you notice on the last episode, it was another one. So I'll just be switching them up, you know what I mean? But anyway, man.
Is this House of Hoops? What is this?
Yeah, House of Game Hoop, motherfucker.
I've been looking at the background shit all the time.
My man, but hey man, but he's another one of our home league guys. We know for way back, but we're not here to catch up, man. We're here to give these people the facts, the fantasy news. So we got two battlers up here. We got Terry McLaurin going at 309 and CD Lamb going at 402. Which side of the battle are you on?
Yeah, man, I'm on the CD Lamb side. McLaurin is definitely a great dynasty asset. His first year, he had 93 targets. He had 58 catches, 919 yards, 7 touchdowns. He catching, 60-something% of his catches. He also, yards after the catch, he's 12, 13 yards after the catch, or yards per catch. And then his second year, he got 15, going on 16 yards per catch. So, I mean, he's solid, but the Ryan Fitzpatrick thing and their offense not being that dynamic, I like CD's side of things. His first year, even with the Andy Dalton thing, he got 111 targets, 935 yards. He also got a rushing touchdown, and he caught 67% of his catches. They got him statted out for 130 targets. 1,100 or 1,150 yards for 8 touchdowns. I actually think he can beat that, especially with them putting him in the slot and moving him around a lot. But I do think Gallup, people forget about Gallup, and he will be in this offense. But when you look at Dak, the year before last, he's coming off of almost 600 pass attempts with 596. Last year he had 1856 in 5 games. So, like, I'm really a believer in Kellen Moore as an offensive coordinator. I believe in Dak too, for a fantasy quarterback, not for real life. Both of these receivers too, they get targeted inside the 20 and the 10, but they don't have a high completion rate. So I think CeeDee Lamb having a consistent quarterback, he'll probably be more consistent, and with that later pick that you'll have to spend for him as well. Um, Today I looked at the updated ADPs, and they have Terry McLaurin going at 308 and CeeDee Lamb going at 405. So yeah, man, I just like CeeDee Lamb a little bit better than him for what you can pay for him.
Los, what side of the battle you on?
Man, this was easily the toughest ADP battle, man. Like, you can literally present an argument for both of these guys. You got Terry McLaurin with possibly the best quarterback he's played with in his career. You know he's going to air it out. Fits his what made Devontae Parker thing after everybody forgot about him. So, I mean, you definitely have an argument for him. But I'm going to agree with Levine here, man. CD, I think he's just primed for that breakout, man. I think when you look at the lack of defense that they have, the amount of times that they're going to have to throw the ball, I think he has top 5 in his potential. Like, I don't really think that McLaurin has top 5 in his. It can happen, but I think the odds, the odds of it happening, I don't think is nowhere near CeeDee Lamb. I mean, even as a rookie last year, before Dak went out, we mentioned this when we talked about that division. He averaged 17 points a game with Dak Prescott as a rookie. So now you have him going through an off season with Dak. You have him like more accustomed to the NFL speed, man. And you see the training camp reports. He's already out here like one-hand catches every day, bro. Like, I just it's the potential for him is just too much for me to pass up. So. And then he's going at 405 currently. So, like, if I can grab like another running back in that third round and then scoop CD in that fourth round, man, I think that's just perfect. So I'm going with CD.
Exactly.
Javon, what you got?
I'm going with Terry, man. I just feel like he's gonna have he might even have 25% of the target share. You know, he's the alpha male out there. He's light years ahead of Curtis Samuels, even though Curtis Samuels is decent. We got Fitzmagic, who's going to throw the ball downfield. And Terry has been the wide receiver 2 with the quarterback who can't even throw the ball downfield. So now you get a quarterback that can throw the ball downfield. He should score more with more yards, air yards, and all that. Whereas CeeDee Lamb is going to be working primarily in the slot. He should have games where he get lots of yards, but I feel like he's going to need to be more of a target hog to get a lot of yards. And I just like the situation in Washington, man. I just think Terry is the alpha dog, whereas it's 1A, 1B. Some might say 1C with Gallup, but it's really 1A, 1B. But with Washington, it's one guy out there. He's the main guy. We've been ready to see them let the chains go off Terry McLaurin. I think this is the year it's going to happen. And like Lo said, we've seen what Fitzmagic did to Devontae Parker, and now he gets Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin is a top 10.
Can I ask you a question though? Do you think Terry can get 1,500 yards this year? Do you think he can get that over CD?
1,500 is a lot of yards.
Yeah, we're not acting like Amari is still there. Amari is still a competent wide receiver, you know. I feel like they're going to get the same type of share at 21, 22, whereas McLaurin can easily get 25, 26 target share of that offense.
But that target, that 25% target share might look differently between Terry McLaurin and CeeDee Lamb if they don't have to throw as much as Dallas does. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, last year Dallas only threw the ball, I think, 39 more times than Washington. They threw it 639.
How about when Dak was playing?
Per game? Yeah, I don't know.
He was doing a lot. You remember what he was on pace for? I talked about that shit. It was like
he was
legit
on pace for
unreal.
Bananas.
Yeah.
But you know he's dealing with that they could say like a baseball type injury with his arm. They say he should be ready for week 1, but I do think that should be something we bitching about Zach. But I'm not wishing bad on Zach, so I'm not even gonna like keep. Hey, but Levon, what did you say about that? What did you say about what was the updated ADPs?
I have it at Terry McLaurin at 308, and I have CeeDee Lamb at 405.
So some of the wide receivers going around 308. We got Keenan Allen, Mike Davis, Terry McLaurin, and Allen Robinson. And then right on after that is CeeDee Lamb. Do you think it's a tier break between Terry McLaurin and CeeDee Lamb? Between those wide receivers and CeeDee Lamb when it gets there? Because I think it is.
You think that's a tier break?
I think Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans, Allen Robinson, tier break, CeeDee Lamb, Julio Jones, Michael Thomas.
Okay,
they might be all in the same tier, man.
Yeah,
I think
so.
Bro. Yeah, especially
Well, I think Keenan Allen
shouldn't be
before
there.
them because
Yeah,
Keenan Allen's getting 146 targets. Those guys are not seeing that.
Okay, cool.
Allen Robinson should be in the tier before them too, because both of them seeing close to 150.
Allen Robinson is getting drafted.
The other guys not. That's why I got Terry. I think Terry can see 125 and up.
Yeah, I think CeeDee Lamb's ceiling is just capped. And if I'm looking for, if I went, not capped, more in reference to Terry McLaurin. That's what I mean. Because I feel like
he averaged 17 points as a rookie with no offseason.
No quarterback.
He's just going to get better from that point. Well, this is with Dak. He averaged 17 with Dak. He averaged 11 without Dak. So I mean, he wasn't horrible without Dak.
Let's just say Dak doesn't come out here with these record-breaking games where he's throwing the ball 55 times each game, though. You know what I mean? What if he's not throwing the ball 55 times?
I just think that sucks for their whole team, bro, because their defense still sucks.
Yeah, I do too. I think Terry McLaurin is who I would want because, like Javar said, he's going to be the alpha dog there. Even if CeeDee Lamb, how much I believe in CeeDee Lamb's talent, he still has he has obstacles to overcome. Levon mentioned Michael Gallup. You know what I mean? We're not even thinking about Michael Gallup. We're thinking about Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper. So, even though I think the talent will cream rise to the top, I think in redraft, it probably take one more year for Amari Cooper to phase out of the offense before you can lock in him as your wide receiver once. Because if you go running back, and then you leave.
Cooper is not going to phase out. I feel like Gallup is just going to. I mean, I think he's going to be efficient and he'll have 5 or 6 targets a game. But I mean, CD has. I don't feel like he has a ceiling. Like, you know what I mean? Like Terry's he's going to be the number one. Defenses is going. That's their first main goal is to stop him. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can't really key in on Dallas's offense like that. They're going to spread you out. They got 3 wide receivers saying they got Zeke. I mean, you know what I mean? CD can go crazy in that offense. I know Terry McLaurin. I mean, if we're talking about actual like true ability as a receiver, I think he might have a slight advantage. But
I'm talking about fantasy. Well, what Carlos mentioned earlier, volume is key, and I think volume is going to be on Terry McLaurin's side.
And he's gonna get a lot of deep balls, pause. But it had to be a great situation, like an AB and Juju situation, to where Amari out there and Lamb's just on any no-name person and he just eating. So it had to be one of those situations where it's an AB and Juju situations for Lamb.
That is something, just to go back to what Gabe said, that is something I had in my notes also. Like, we know McLaurin is the unquestionable one for his team, and CD still has to overtake Amari. But I just don't think it's going to matter that much with how much I'm projecting Dallas to have to do this year, man. Like, I think it's going to be more than enough volume for both Amari and CD Lamb, to where CD Lamb could be the number 2 on his team, but still have more targets than McLaurin. Like, I wouldn't be surprised at all if that happens.
If Fitzmagic won there, I'd be all for it. But Fitzmagic there and knowing he gonna toss that pill, so I feel safe for McLaurin value right now.
So
I think we might be a little too comfortable on Fitzpatrick, man. I think everybody's too.
I don't want him starting as my team.
Something happened, bro.
I don't want him starting as a quarterback on my team, but as a receiver who is a great route runner and can go deep, It's
I know he's never kept a starting job, right? Like, I know they don't have nobody there, but that's something to keep in mind, bro.
That is true.
I want him to. I don't want Terry McLaurin if he loses the job.
Oh yeah, for sure. But he's not gonna lose his job this year. But I'm saying, if everything, I think people are a little too high on Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't know, like how I talk about Mike Davis. You know what I'm saying? Like, people forget that Mike Davis like trailed off toward the end of the year. Even though Fitzpatrick got replaced and then replaced it, whatever. But we have seen before where Fitzpatrick, started off with where Fitzmagic came like originally in Tampa Bay, and then the magic fizzled. You know what I'm saying? So that is something to be aware of. But okay, so my roundtable question, the end of it is, if you go running back, and now you in the let's say you go with running back. Tight end, just to make it like, you know what I'm saying? This is gonna be your wide receiver one. Whatever the situation is, you have to pick. This is your wide receiver one. Only Terry McLaurin and CD Lamb are on the board, because that's gonna be around. If you don't go wide receiver early, that's what you're gonna look at. So that's the question I put you. Which one would you choose then, Los?
Still going CD, man, because I'm just not expecting the defense to get any better. So he's going to get the targets, man, and I think he's gonna make that second year leap. So. And like I said in my argument, like he has that top 5 potential, I feel like. So I want that guy to have that top 5 potential if I'm going to have him as my wide receiver one.
I hope so. I hope he do be top 5. I
like what you're saying.
I don't think so.
I love Terry Scary, so it's a go.
Scary Terry, bro. You've been saying this shit for 2 years, bro. It's Scary Terry.
No, it's Terry Scary.
This guy got dyslexia, bro.
Word lexia. That's crazy.
Jesus. Terry's scary.
Hey,
so Javar, which one you got?
No. Say it again.
Yeah, we talked about Michael Gallup still being there, and that's another thing he's gonna have to overcome. Javar, which one you got? I mean, not Javar.
He overcame
which one you got?
Paul. Right, it's the number 2.
That is true. Who you got? If that's your situation where you at choosing your first wide receiver off the board, who you taking? You still taking CD at that point? He's froze. We might have lost him.
Who that?
Who you talking to? Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, you asked me am I taking CD?
I thought you said Javar.
I thought I said
Javar too. Yeah, I'm definitely taking CD. I think
as your first wide receiver.
You said I went running back, and I went tight end. So I got Waller, and I got Kamara, and I got Aaron Jones. Mm-hmm. So my wide receiver one, CD Lamb. I think the ceiling is 2. I can get top 5 potential with him. I know what I'm gonna get with Terry McLaurin. I think he'll finish as a wide receiver one and everything, but I think CD has a higher ceiling though.
So one thing I want to mention about why Terry McLaurin, I know we mentioned this on our episode earlier, why Terry McLaurin does not have that top 5 potential is not because of the targets or the yards, it's the touchdowns he's not getting.
And he should get.
So if he was to get touchdowns, even he had the great defense last year. So if he was to get touchdowns,
he doesn't get touchdowns because he's keyed in inside the 20. They
can't do that no more. They can't do that no more.
For Washington,
what you mean they can't do that no more?
They got
Antonio Gibson coming into
Curtis Samuels. You can run them in
they got Logan
Curtis Samuels in motion. You can hand the ball off to Curtis Samuels, or you can.
He came on later in the year.
Ain't nobody focusing on Curtis Samuel in the red zone.
Curtis Samuels.
Logan Thomas.
What do you mean stop it? What do you do? What was his red zone numbers last year?
You have to address Curtis Samuels on the field, bro.
You do, but you want to address McLaurin first and foremost, and then you'll let Curtis Samuel beat you if you can stop McLaurin. Like,
right.
All I'm saying is, if you add the same amount of touchdowns CD Lamb had last year to Terry McLaurin's numbers, we're talking about Terry McLaurin in a different light. And I think, you know what I'm saying, all goes well with Ryan Fitzmagic. That could be a thing, you know. If he starts getting touchdowns, then we talk about top 5 potential with Terry McLaurin also.
I didn't even look this up, but I think Terry McLaurin finished as the 20th, and I think CD finishes 21st. I think that's right. 22. His rookie season with no quarterback, no offseason.
Like I said,
McLaurin did that with no touchdowns.
Second year, and I think Kellen Moore is going to be a better offensive coordinator in within the next few years. Like the dude is really gifted.
I don't know, bro. I think I'm still gonna go Terry McLaurin because I like that. I know what I'm getting. If that's my wide receiver one, if I can get a wide receiver one, and if I have the stack squad that you said and Terry McLaurin, and then we can just get some. I'll go with my second wide receiver. I'd rather try to get the upside. Even though I think CD Lamb have a pretty safe floor, but as a wide receiver one, I think I need a little bit more volume. Anybody else got anything?
He was averaging 17 points with only 2 touchdowns while Dak was there. So it ain't like he was just scoring a lot of touchdowns. He was getting a lot of volume.
Yeah, he was getting volume. He got 111.
It's arguments for both sides, man.
Yeah, like I said, it's just go get your guy.
Yeah, at this point.
That point.
So Carlos,
CD all day.
Javar,
Terry.
Gabe, Terry, Vaughn.
CD.
He's going.
Yeah, CD. All right, man. So I guess it's a split down in half again. So hung jury it is.
You know what's crazy though? I started this argument with Terry, but as I did my stat research and everything, I was like, nah, CD really like
that dude is like
a lot of people love CD. A lot of people love
that boy.
Yeah.
Man.
And I think Terry McLaurin will actually be better when he gets another receiver alongside of him. You know what I'm saying? Like if he had an Aaron Rodgers, like Devontae Adams, who?
Curtis Samuels. Curtis Samuels wide receiver. You talking about CD Lamb? Curtis Samuels was wide receiver 25 last year, right?
That's
there behind CD Lamb and playing with Teddy Two Gloves.
Fact.
So Curtis Samuels is no lamb chop. Curtis Samuels
still think he's a red zone threat.
He got that pedigree.
He got a lot of but they use him in the red zone differently.
They gave him like running back, like carries.
But you remember, if you remember, like if you go to the episode where we were talking about him, Ron Rivera drafted Curtis Samuel, and they were when Ron Rivera had Curtis Samuel that year, Curtis Samuel was supposed to blow up. They were using him in all kind of formations. You know what I'm saying? Running it out the backfield, different type of ways to get Curtis Samuel involved in the game. So
I feel like they were doing that more last year than when they
were. But I'm saying they started it. They started it the year before though. They were doing it.
It's funny. It's really funny. Y'all are arguing that Curtis Samuel. We're talking about CD. He is the ultimate Curtis Samuel. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he got the same role as far as that offense goes. But y'all are here saying Curtis Samuel. Though.
My argument was used like Terry don't have nobody. He do.
Yeah, that's all I was saying.
Is a good wide receiver. He played.
He's a competent wide receiver.
He played with Cam, and Cam was the most accurate guy. And then Cam got hurt, and we don't even know what quarterback he had after Cam got hurt. I can't remember his name. And Curtis Samuels was wide open downfield, and the quarterbacks could not hit him. So he lost 1 year of production because he had no name quarterback. But yeah, he's a good wide receiver. 2-3 in the draft, finish around there.
Curtis Samuel was 55 in red zone targets last year. Just to throw that out there.
But are we talking about running the ball? You got to incorporate him getting the ball out of the backfield too. How many rushing touchdowns did he have?
Last year they had CMC. This year he ain't gonna do much of that.
Yeah, he's not gonna be getting too many red zone.
All right, bro. We see what Robert Bell like to use.
And like the jet sweep, yeah, that's why I feel like they're gonna have him coming in the jet sweep type situation in the red zone to confuse him up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see, bro.
One carry inside the 5.
Of course, he's not a bulldozing running back.
He had 12. He had 12 red zone carries.
He's gonna be used. That's all I'm saying.
And he's gonna be
you got
second
any points to make? You got anything else you want to point?
He should be second.
Nah, because I mean, either way it goes, if like CD Lamb got picked before me, I would pick Terry as my number one with that same scenario you said. So I would be cool with Terry too. But I think I gotta make a little argument.
I think when it all said and done, Terry McLaurin is going to be more of that Keenan Allen type, that guy that's going to get those targets, that's going to, is great route running, that's consistent player. And I think CD Lamb is he has the ceiling of like a Julio, DeAndre Hopkins type player. So
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'll go with that. So
just what you want.
Anything else? Anything you want to say? You know what I'm saying? Want to shout out to Barber, you know what I'm saying? Get the Lemon Pepper Wings, come over there off Douglasville. You know what I'm saying? You got to set an appointment because he don't accept walk-in, so don't come in there think you're going to walk in. He a famous barber. He's just, you know what I'm saying? He bougie. He messed Carlos' hair up at first, but now look at him. You know what I'm saying? Look at me now.
I already messed Mike hair up. Remember freshman year, Mike shit up, man?
That shit was so
I remember taking a nap. He said, man, I fucked your shit up.
Hey, the haircut was like $5, and Mike, I was trying to pay him, and Mike was like, no.
Wait, this Mike from Warzone?
No. That's hilarious. Oh, but that's funny. Oh, man. We appreciate you for coming out, man. You know what I'm saying? We see you in the home drafts. Javar gonna come get his haircut Thursday.
All right.
We'll see you in the session takeover. I think you and somebody. You might be in Javar League, I believe, something like that. But anyway, man, appreciate you for coming through, man, kicking it with us. Appreciate you for all your support. Keep on cutting.
All right, bro.
Hey.
Peace, man.
Hey, y'all got some shirts, man?
Yeah.
I need some merch.
All right, we got some. My sister making some right now for the expo, so I'll tell. Just tell me, shoot me the email what size you want, and I'll put an order in for you.
God damn, you the famous one. I got an email you?
Yeah, nigga.
fantasyincession@gmail.com.
Oh yeah, you know how it go.
It's all I email, man. Don't gas you up.
No, that's not why I'm laughing at. But get off the show, Bob. You making me too
I don't know why you
comfortable.
laughing. Game
Yeah, get off the show. You make me
What
too
happened?
comfortable. All right, bro. I just had a little slip up. But anyway, yeah, man, that was a good show, man. That brings us to the end of our ADP battles. You know what I'm saying? We're getting into closer to draft season. It's about that time. So I think next episode, a couple people asked me to do a mock draft, especially for the session takeover. So I think we should do one next Friday. If y'all, we're gonna be on the road. We're gonna be on the road.
Oh,
we're gonna be going to Canton.
We can do it early. I know we pod with somebody Wednesday, and then
we can maybe Thursday or something. We can record just a quick draft episode. Maybe get a couple people.
I might do that thing early in the week, man.
We got an episode, or we could do it whenever. You know what I'm saying? Just to give some people some draft stuff advice. I know a couple of people asked me. They said it's getting closer to the season, and they pretty much listen to this show to get their draft spot. So we need to go ahead and just give the people what they need. Y'all got anything else, man? I think this is a good show, good fantasy in session. I think we got a lot of good ADPs out there, a little ADP battle. Hopefully somebody learned something. If you haven't already, join the hashtag, join the sessions. Shout out to all our guests that was on here today, Marie, Vince, Brennan, and my boy Levon. If I ain't got nothing else, y'all got anything else?
No, sir. Peace.
Sound like we did it. We out. Shout out to Antonio.